Quite the topic these past couple of days, but He-Man, Masters of the Universe, whatever it's supposed to be called, Masters of the Universe, Revelations, is another in a long list of examples of being a bait and switch. Now, if you're looking for a review of this absolute horseshit, this is not going to be the place for you, okay? I'm just going to be taking a look at the bait and switch aspects of it, and to be completely fair, I don't really care about modern media because it's just all of this, okay? Honestly, it's just always, oh yeah, we're going to be faithful to the source material, and this is going to be exactly what the fans love because, ooh, look at the pretty pictures on the screen, and doesn't the voice cast look impressive? This is going to be something that you're going to be able to tell your grandkids about because we're just going to be rebooting it again for them because we're out of fresh fucking ideas. Honestly, that's all media has right now at this point. So the quicker that they just fall off the edge and then, I don't know, better independent sources rise up in order to fill the entertainment vacuum, the better off everybody would be. And stop simping for these fucking corporations. And stop simping for these fucking ideas, or IPs rather. Because it's fucking retarded, guys, okay? Honestly. Oh, I have such strong feelings for IP number 638 because when I was a kid, we used to all get together with my friends and we have such fond memories. And now this different series makes me feel bad about those things. Okay, cool. I watched a lot of cartoons when I was growing up, too. Like, just listening to reviews of this absolute dog shit. And I was like, oh, fuck, I guess I did watch quite a few things. Like, okay. Like most people out there, yeah, I've seen Batman the Animated Series, Spider-Man, X-Men, Aladdin, Inspector Gadget, a whole bunch of stuff, right? And if they decided that they were going to reboot and redo all of that stuff, cool. I can still go back and watch that stuff if I want, or I can just plug in the Blu-ray or the DVD of fucking Aladdin or The Lion King, and I don't really have to pay attention to any of those live-action adaptations. It doesn't ruin the original material because that was the original material. That's fine. The fuck are you so up in arms about? I just think that that's a really stupid argument to make. Instead, go after the fact that it sounds like it was written by a 4-year-old with crayons. Oh, but it was actually just written by a bitch-made stoner. Let's be fair, Kevin Smith, okay? I knew this guy's been a sellout for a long fucking time. A lot of people have a lot of fond memories of his Clerks days, Mallrat days, Chasing Amy, Dogma, all of that fucking happy horse shit that all the hipsters used to love back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I didn't really much care for any of his work. He seemed like a cool dude. People like to put him up on this pedestal that he was even greater than he really was, and then mostly it's like, oh, okay, everybody felt bad because he had a heart attack, and obviously you should probably, not hold that against anybody, but yeah, he was severely overweight at the time, and now he's dropped a whole bunch of weight, and at the same time he also dropped whatever kind of dignity and reverence people had for him, and he just kind of bit down hard on that social justice tablet, sold out to Hollywood a la Howard Stern, and guess what? Now nobody likes him, okay? I'll give you an example of when I figured out that he was probably somewhat of a bitch. I've made reference to this a few times. Big, old school Opie and Anthony fan. Kevin Smith used to call in quite regularly, and O&A, Patrice, Jimmy were going over some of the Mel Gibson tapes. Now, this wasn't the one where he was ragging on the Jews, drunk off of his mind, bouncing off the top of a cop car. This was the one where he was having a little bit of a phone dispute with his now ex-wife. That's the nicest way to put it. Absolutely hilarious point in time for that particular radio show, but Kevin Smith had called in and they were listening to the phone calls themselves, and Kevin Smith was giving his commentary on the situation, and Jimmy and Patrice were predictably adding in their commentary and wondering, okay, what would push a man to get that upset, and what exactly did the woman do in this situation as well? Because there's 3 sides to every story, yours, mine, and the truth. But then Kevin Smith would chime in and he would say, well, why do you have to say such mean things to begin with? And you wouldn't get in so much trouble if you didn't just say the stuff to begin with. And that's a woman, dude. You shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff. And this was what, late 2000s? Like 2008, 2009 territory? So he's been bitch made for a minute. It just took enough people to finally fucking catch up to it because, yeah, he's the showrunner on this, okay? He wrote and directed the pilot, but his fingerprints and his direction is all over this, okay? Like I said, this isn't going to be a review of the series, and if you want to watch it, it's on Netflix, which should have been another big red flag because this is the same production house that platformed and helped finance Cuties. Never forget. But no, this is about what happens in Hollywood. This is current day Hollywood at its peak, okay? A bait and switch situation. They've ran out of ideas, okay? And now they're dragging up something which I've probably seen some stills of He-Man. I've probably maybe seen an episode here or there. I know the iconic pictures. I know the iconic characters to it, but I have no connection to this whatsoever, okay? Just like Kevin Smith. But he'll tell you a totally different story. Just don't look back at any of his previous tweets or any of the statements that he said that he has absolutely no love for He-Man, but then all of a sudden when he got the showrunner gig, all of a sudden, oh, I was all about He-Man. I was watching it years before it even came out, but I'm the biggest He-Man fan ever. Fuck off. He put a sweet paint job over a total bait and switch, okay? Because you know He-Man, right? Masters of the Universe, whatever it's properly called. It's supposed to be all about Prince Adam turning into He-Man, beating up Skeletor, Beast Man, being infused with the power of Castle Grayskull and saving the day, right? That's Masters of the Universe in a nutshell. But what do you get in this one? Well, you get slick animation, you get a very talented voice cast, and then you get the female sidekick taking over and being in charge and a total bitch for, 5 episodes? It's supposed to be a second season, or the second half of the first season coming out later this year or something like that. But hey, Kevin Smith said it was all about He-Man, right? And he was even fighting with people coming out saying that, hey, I have inside information. My sources say that, yeah, this is in fact going to be all about the character Teela, who has her own backstory, but it's going to be about her and going to have very little to do with Prince Adam and He-Man. YouTubers Keenon and Geeky Sparkles of Clownfish TV noted the strange descriptor for the show in 2019 when it was first announced. In one of their videos, they alleged that a source had revealed to them that Teela would be the main character for the show. Not only that, she would also have a girlfriend. And He-Man would be stepping aside for the two women to be heroes of the story. Go fucking figure. The Clownfish TV duo, talked about the presentation at PowerCon in Anaheim when the synopsis of the show presented Teela as the protagonist, noting that it was up to her to find the missing sword of power to save Eternia from the clutches of Skeletor. Words that I don't know, but make sense in the context of the show. Having shared with this information prior to the premiere of the show's first trailer, the duo were reproached by Smith himself on Twitter last March, as the showrunner sought to correct some misinformation he believed the YouTubers were spreading about the show he was making. Like it says here in the tweet, as showrunner, I really could have used these story suggestions before we locked the scripts. However, no, He-Man does no stepping aside and Teela has no girlfriend. In our show, the storyline is pretty dark and way metal. People thought he was cool, and he unironically uses the term metal. Before Revelation, we were calling it End of the Universe. Very appropriate based on what we're hearing. When Clownfish TV presented a quote from Screen Rant's coverage of the new series story details, which noted that He-Man wouldn't be the main protagonist anymore, but rather the focus will be on Teela, Smith pushed back against the article. With all due respect, Screen Rant, I've read every Masters of the Universe official script for our shows, plus wrote a few. Oh, flex. He reviewed 4 amazing animatics, said Smith, while Teela is as present as she's always been in the Masters of the Universe. I'm butchering this, but that's what you get when you're probably posting this at 4 a.m. or rather 5 in the afternoon, just high off your tits. And she plays a big role. Our series is literally all about He-Man. Well, my dude, you should probably be walking that shit back, but no. Instead, he just gets his fucking friends in the Access Media to just write these fucking show pieces for him, okay? Is it all about He-Man? Depends on your definition of He-Man. Is it getting review bombed? Absolutely, because you can tell Rotten Tomatoes, 94% of top critics, all the critics think that it's just the bee's knees, kids, but then the audience thinks that it's about 30%. Not good whatsoever. What about over on Metacritic? Okay, you got your 70 score, which, wait a minute, okay, it's significantly better on Rotten Tomatoes, but then on Metacritic, okay, you got a couple of 80s, 3 80s in fact, and then a 75, and then about a 2/3, and then 50. Like even CNN couldn't get it up for this. For those expecting something truly boundary pushing, rest assured no one will confuse this with Clerks. Okay, so even the old reviewer class couldn't even be bothered to try to pump this up any. Oh, and then you take a look at the user score. Oh my god, a 2. But this is all just supposed to be, apparently, like what we've been told. Oh, it's just review bombed by people who are just writing some stupid comments like Kevin Smith lied. This is a bait and switch. The show went woke. But then you take a look. He-Man is active only in episode 1, and he acts like a fool. Teela is a powerful woman who becomes the new man-at-arms and saves the... I don't care about the rest of this, but this dude rates it a 0. There's a 2 here that says this is a bait and switch and not worth your time, and then he follows it up with, Kevin Smith lied, this is not the Masters of the Universe, this is a generic-ass something or other that believes and continues to go on. So it's not just shit posting. These are people who watch this and assess it for the absolute trite that it is. And what does Kevin Smith do? What does he do? Instead of just saying, yeah, you know what, we were told by the studios Netflix wouldn't fund us if we revealed anything about the script, and we were trying to take it in a different direction, but don't worry, this is only half a story, and the rest of it is going to make sense because we still haven't revealed some old classic characters yet, and we'll find a way to work them in. No, he's just going to try and monetize this shit. Good morning, everyone, except Kevin Smith, who fucked up Masters Official. Want to talk about it? Tonight at my podcasting place at the Smod Castle, me and Orko are ready to listen when Griff Lightning and I host He-Man Beyond. Get tickets here or watch it on YouTube. Oh yeah, you can go there and you can listen to him bitch and moan for $50 a piece. Monetizing it. Monetizing the desecration of, for some people, it's a beloved franchise, okay? Like I said, does this take away from the original animated series? No. Should you expect anything different from modern-day cinema? Absolutely not. You should have seen this coming from a mile away. And if you think that somebody did something decent a long time ago, that being in Hollywood, having a history of selling out and just kind of being a bitch for a long time at this point, was he going to produce anything but what we have right now? You're sorely mistaken. You're sorely mistaken. But yeah, at the end of the day, chalk this up there with the likes of Star Wars, Star Trek. They're currently working on the MCU and soon to be the Lord of the Rings, of just old series that are just going to get bastardized by modern politics, liars, deceivers, only to just turn it around when it's absolute fucking dog shit on the far-right trolls. There's many other stupid shit that's happening in Hollywood right now, but the negative response to this show, it's going to take a minute for them to eclipse that. But Lord of the Rings has a good outside chance on that one. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.